All right. 2025. 1 week away. I thought what we'll do is 20 drivers, 20 questions, 1 cup.
Mm-hmm.
So we split the drivers straight down the middle. I take all the number ones
And why's that?
because I'm number one.
Okay.
So
Number one
we'll
podcaster?
we'll call them Raymond's number ones.
Okay.
And then
Does that
you
mean
can
I get the number twos?
you get all the number twos. Timmy's
That's
number
right.
twos.
I'll take it.
Yep.
Sometimes number twos are the best. The most satisfying.
Really. 2025 season. Do you think there's a lot of teams that have some pretty strong driver pairings? Do you think that it's better to have 2 number 1 drivers, or do you think it's better to have a number 1 and a number 2 driver in terms of like a team approach to winning championships?
Well, that is a topical question, isn't it?
Very.
I think there's plenty of proof out there that a number 1 and a number 2 is a better way of running it, if you can.
In terms of attacking, like maximizing the points, you mean?
I guess as far as trying to walk away with the Drivers' Championship, definitely.
Yeah.
Or at least keeping a harmonious team and pairing. It's rare we've seen 2 number 1s be a long-lasting endeavour.
Yeah. They don't usually end well, do they?
No. Most recently, obviously, the Mercedes duo. They didn't play nice. But I think Ferrari always showed it best how to do it. Have a good number 1, give them all your backing, and then have a number 2 who just got to move over.
And just remind me, when was their last successful season?
We don't need to, you don't need to debunk
like
my theory straight away. Like, give me a minute to roll it off the tongue, jeez.
2000.
No, well, do you not agree with me? That having 2 number 1s, although Mercedes walked away with all the championships, it blew up their 2 drivers' friendship, and it caused a lot of carnage at times. But
You're talking about Hamilton Rosberg.
Yeah.
That was probably the last 1v1
oh, absolutely, yeah, definitely the last one.
pairing that really went all the way. I mean,
Yeah.
it looked like for McLaren at times it was going to go, like it had the
That's
potential to
another
go
one.
down that route.
That's another one.
So far they've done well to sort of,
But they're not. They
for,
haven't
for the
fought.
most part.
They haven't fought for a championship yet, have they?
Well, they have the constructors, so they have found.
Yeah, but
some
that's
success.
literally teamwork.
That is,
Like
yeah.
they haven't had to peg the 2 drivers against each other just yet.
That's true. If you have 2 number 1s, you probably have the best chance of getting a constructors right.
Oh,
But then as far as drivers' championship, it doesn't really work too
Yeah.
well.
I mean, McLaren, they, when they had Alonso and Hamilton, I think they got the constructors, but they sure as shit pissed away the drivers.
McLaren, no way, because they didn't win a constructors like the last time was
Oh, you're right.
1998 or
Again,
whatever,
you
so.
debunked my theory. But I'm just saying, they threw away the drivers' championship because between them, they were just taking points off each other. I don't think it's the best way to go about it, but
It's certainly, from a team owner point of view, it's easier to manage and a clear number 1 and a clear number 2.
yeah. I mean, if you've got a good enough car, like Mercedes did, where although they're taking points off each other and it wasn't good for the relationship, team morale, who knows what else, but at least they still walked away with all the cookies. Like they threw away, that first year, they threw away 3 race wins to a legend. But besides that, number 1, number 2, got to be the best way to go about it if you can.
So then, who do you think has the best driver pairing on the grid as it stands right now,
As in
without seeing a lick of racing?
as in a 1 and a 2?
Just in general.
Or,
Whether, because I mean, you'd probably consider
Well,
McLaren as a 1-on-1.
yeah, McLaren's a 1
think
and 1.
I think Ferrari's
Ferrari's a 1 and 1. Don't be silly.
Okay.
Don't even
Red
go
Bull's a
down
clear
there.
1.
Red
and
Bull's
2,
a 1 and 2.
and so is Mercedes.
Well, yeah, Mercedes. Who cares? Like, what are they fighting for? Peanuts.
But if let's say we're talking the top 4 as it kind of stands from last season.
No, 100%. They got a 1 and a 2. Clearly, the question is, does Lawson want to cement himself as a number 2?
Is he going to be a company guy?
He could decide to be a hero and not toe the line and we'll see.
All right.
But so I mean they've got the clearest 1 and 2 of the top teams, but whether that actually works for them, I don't think Lawson's got the bag to go against Max anyway.
Yeah, he's kind of fallen backwards into that seat somehow.
100%.
Yeah. So pressure's on.
Yeah.
For young Lawson.
Yeah. We'll get into it.
All right.
Round 1. Player 1. Ready. Player 2. Ready. Fight.
Let's do question number 1, shall we? 1 of 20. So we'll start with McLaren.
Of course, naturally.
Now F1.com has Piastri as the number 1 driver.
What's in
Maybe.
the face? What's in the face?
Well,
Do you disagree with their listing?
Well, I'm just stating that just to make sure everyone's on the same page. That F1 have Piastri as McLaren's number 1 driver.
Yep.
Okay, so the question is, by what round will future world champion Oscar Piastri clinch the driver's trophy to become Australia's first world champion since Alan Jones in 1980?
Wow. By what round? Naturally, what are they? 24 this year? This coming year? 24
24
rounds?
again? Yep.
He'll probably have to take it all the way, I imagine.
You reckon it's going to go to the final?
I reckon it'll go
Like
to the
Abu
final.
Dhabi again?
Yeah, I reckon it will. He's not, I don't think he'll come out and dominate. I think Lando will be close enough to him to prevent that. But also, the others on the grid won't make it easy for him.
Yeah, it's funny. The pairing of, like, you'd have to say Norris is definitely Piastri's enemy number 1, right?
Your teammate always is, but yeah, definitely. They're
Naturally.
definitely in their fight
But
for the championship.
it
And they're in
does-
contention. And yeah,
Well, it does seem like they're in the best car. I mean, they just won the constructors, so it's kind of logical that one of those cars should be the driver's world champion.
Yeah.
So then it is a question of who's it going to be. Norris obviously has a lot more experience in that car. Final year of regulations as well. So he's kind of in the best opportunity of his career to snatch a world championship. But I think Piastri, having 2 years experience in that car now, we saw what he did in Europe last year. If he can just find a bit of consistency outside of Europe through Asia and through the Americas and whatever, I think he could certainly take the fight right to Norris and take it to the end and be, I mean, obviously papaya rules are probably going to come into play at some point.
not if they're going head to head.
You don't think they'll pull that?
If they're going head to head, how could you within their own rule set? How could you pick one driver over the other if they're both in red hot contention?
Yes.
Based on their own papaya rules.
So it comes back to that thing of like, what could it potentially cost them at having one of those drivers going for a drivers' championship?
Yep.
Is that now potentially going to cost them being the reigning constructors
It
champion?
could cost them the drivers' championship.
Well,
If
that's
they
true.
don't back
If
one
they're taking
driver,
points off
which
each other.
they shouldn't back one driver based on their own rule set. If they don't back one driver by mid-season, if it's a three-way battle and they don't pick a driver, which they shouldn't, 100% they're just taking points off each other.
Yeah.
100%. I hope they let it. I hope it's a good season. I don't want to see them necessarily just run away and take it all that quick and easy. I want a good season to watch.
We might see the perceived bromance of that the two have come to end in tears, maybe. I mean, if Piastri does,
Do they have a bromance?
at
I think
least,
Oscar
at least on the
is-
social media front, they play nice.
Yeah, I think Oscar's what's the word? He's very he's biding his time. The last half of last season, no worries, buddy. I'll toe the company line. But
So the question is his time now? Do you think it is?
it seems that way. Like
Yeah.
his progress year on year, we discussed that already. 200%. His progress year on year, it's only going to get better again. He's now got another season under his belt. He's now got another go round at all these tracks.
Yep. I like the way he goes about things. He has like a quiet confidence.
Yeah.
He's not, it doesn't, like, I don't know, you get this thing with Norris when he says like, next year it's mine. I don't know, you don't quite believe him for some reason.
No,
I don't know if he
It's
has the
because
same
he's
level
meant
of
to say that.
confidence in himself.
he's meant to say that.
Of course. Yeah.
So he's saying it because he's meant to.
But then when Piastri, the way he kind of says he's going to approach the season and how he's going to take sort of each race and I don't know, quietly taking his own little corner
Yeah.
and backing himself to be a genuine title contender this year.
Yeah.
So I think those are all positives in terms of where his mind's at.
I like the question, and I think the answer is he'll take it, and I think he'll take it at the end.
So my prediction is him finishing first.
Strong.
Maybe a tad little bit of bias there.
I can't
Naturally.
help but agree.
We
I think
we
he'll,
that's the reason we put the
there's
disclaimer.
a disclaimer out there. We're not hiding anything.
Yeah.
We're being upfront and honest. All right. So I've got a Lando Norris question for you, of course. Is Lando Norris not
Mhm.
bad for a number 2 driver?
Come on, man. This is you disrespect my house like this?
Apologies.
You fucking animal.
Answer the question.
He's not bad for a number 2 driver.
He's not bad for a number 2 driver?
Would I rate him over Mark Webber?
Would you?
I don't think I would.
Say it. Say
Personally.
it out loud. What your
Personally,
thoughts
I
are.
don't think I would rate him over Mark Webber. But he does make for a pretty good number 2 driver for McLaren.
Solid
Yeah.
number 2.
I guess the question is, right, if Piastri pips him
Mm-hmm.
and he beats Norris to the becoming world champion in that car before Norris, does Norris want to stay with McLaren? Or does he go and look for a seat elsewhere? Like, would he
Well-
take kindly to being a step below Piastri? If it happens.
We've seen it before. We've seen Vettel run away from Ricciardo at Red Bull and go get his Ferrari drive. So there's precedent there that they don't like it happening to them.
I guess you could say we've seen Ricardo do the same thing.
Hey, watch your mouth. Yeah, well, clearly. He's listed as a number 2 driver, thanks to the F1 website.
Mhm.
So, that's gospel. He's a number 2 driver. Solid number 2.
And those guys are professionals. We're just
Yeah.
amateurs.
Yeah, exactly. We're just following
Those guys actually know what they're talking about.
what they're putting down for us.
Yeah.
They're probably, but they've got to be the best driver pairing on the grid.
Yeah.
So if that makes him the best number 2, that makes him the best number 2.
Yeah, I guess when you stack it up against Ferrari,
Hmm.
it is very touch and go.
Well, it's a
And
brand new. The problem with Ferrari is Hamilton's new to the team. So like, Hamilton is who he is, but
He's not a rookie, right? Like he's
No.
got 20 years of experience almost.
something like that. But
Something
he's
like
also
that. So-
never driven anything besides a Mercedes donk. Like he's just spent 11, 12 years in a Mercedes chassis built for him,
He
by
knows,
him, for him. Like,
he knows how to pull out a win from his ass though.
oh,
You know, like we saw him win a couple of times in a piece of shit Merc,
Mm.
including Silverstone again. His
course.
track knowledge and experience, I think, will carry him a long way.
Yeah.
And I think you can't write that off into how how good of a strength that will be for Ferrari
well,
as
they've
a as a
definitely
pairing
got the
as well.
second best driver pairing.
Second best. Yeah, I agree.
I'd agree.
Okay.
All right, so I've got Norris.
Isn't it funny how Verstappen is the world champion, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm
Red
not
Bull
so
have
fan.
dominated for 4 years.
Yeah.
But at this point right now, you wouldn't put them in the number 1 or the number 2 spot.
As a driver pairing,
As a driver
or as a
pairing,
team,
or
or as their chances, is what are you saying?
I
Here?
think all of the above.
I certainly haven't got him in number 1
Mm.
as Max. Obviously, we got
Mhm.
OP there. As a team, yeah, I don't have him as first or second. You're right.
So where do you have Norris?
Norris,
finishing
I've
then?
got him. I predict he will be third in the championship.
It's funny you say that because I thought the same thing
Mm.
because of the way that they're probably going to take points off each other. I don't see.
Because I don't think that McLaren is going to be overarchingly better than the Red Bull or the Ferrari. So I think the cars themselves will be pretty similar.
Mm.
So I think we're going to have a very similar.
be
This season will be similar to the end of the last season, where there's, or even most of the season after the first sort of 8 races, where there's just a lot of mix up with wins and people
Mm.
getting multiple wins. I think it'll be a similar year, so they'll be a lot closer.
Yeah, there'll be fine margins for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll move on to question number 3. Charles Leclerc.
Leclerc.
With Ferrari bringing Hamilton in, I'm not sure what Leclerc's position is now. Is he happy with only winning the title of sexiest driver on the grid?
Did he win that?
I don't know. Did he?
Probably.
Where do you rank him?
Where do I rank him? Alonso's pretty good looking still. He's still got it.
Alonso.
He's
You
still
like the
got it
old
in his
dogs.
old age. Yeah.
Well,
well,
did
what else?
Ferrari get sexier losing signs for Hamilton, or a little bit of their Latino sexiness kind of fade away with Carlos leaving?
Well, they've lost a bit of the bromance, I guess.
Yeah.
They've lost that edge.
Yeah.
Um.
I mean, when you
He's
bring in a
still-
juggernaut like Hamilton, right?
Well, as you misspoke in
Mm.
the trailer, they
Happens to the
did.
best of us.
They did bring out the 16. I've
Mm.
since found out. You lying son of a bitch.
I was just checking. if you were paying attention and you
Well,
weren't.
you know I wasn't because I didn't watch it. I had all my faith
Call
in
yourself a
you,
fan.
the host of the show, taking full responsibility of the situation.
Well, I refuse to accept any
Regardless.
responsibility.
Regardless, Ferrari did bring out the 16,
Mm.
Leclerc's number, and I think that is a statement. Is that they've got Hamilton there, they've got the famous 44, they just kept that in the sheds, in the truck.
It is a bit of a sign of solidarity.
Yeah, brought out
Isn't
the 16. Probably shows not only to the fans but to Leclerc. Like they've still got his back. Like don't forget about him. Like Hamilton's a short-term prospect.
Well, he's 27 now, and I assume 28 this year. So he's in that window of kind of peak driver ability, you'd say,
Yeah.
provided you have the car underneath you to do it. And it certainly seems like that
Yeah, he's
Ferrari
probably
is
at
better
the-
than ever.
At a peak of his skills, yeah, probably.
So it's hard to kind of write him off as a genuine contender. And I
No.
think you would back him over Hamilton as finishing ahead in the driver standings, which is where I have him.
So
As
what do you have him?
second.
Second.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have him second. I think,
All right.
as we mentioned, the McLarens are split.
Yeah.
I just don't know. You know, we'll come to Verstappen. He's obviously
We'll get there.
he's obviously in the picture, but I do think that it seems like it's going to be about a 2-horse race between Ferrari and McLaren.
Yeah.
And that puts Leclerc right between the two.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. I think Ferrari will have the same problem as McLaren where the two drivers are kind of taking points off each other.
Mm.
But I think their car is potentially, or their relationship is not, or Ferrari historically are not going to be willing as much to let them take those points off each other.
You think so? I mean, I don't know. If you were to prioritize, how can you?
I mean, you also can't,
prioritize-
I don't think you can tell Hamilton what to do, to be honest, either.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, if you've got Leclerc who has a chance to finally win one for Ferrari and sort of fulfill his destiny that seems to be paved for him.
Yeah.
But then you put that against Hamilton winning an 8th title and passing Schumacher to well and truly be the greatest of all time, at least on paper, and in a Ferrari. So they have their opportunity to be a part of that history. The team that delivered him the 8th, no one has ever done that before. And like, kind of funny that it is going against a Schumacher who had
Yeah, I don't like it.
so much success in a Ferrari. How can you prioritize one over the other? You know, like that. That
Tell
puts
you how
them in a
you
very
prioritize your heir to the throne, Leclerc. The
Right.
future, he could spend the next 13 years there easy.
I think that's what they're going to do, right?
Yeah. So you got him second.
Second.
Right? Okay. So, Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Mhm.
Who said this? Never hate your enemies. It affects your judgment.
Don't know.
Lewis Hamilton or The Godfather?
Godfather. Or are they're one and the same? He
Is
thinks
Lewis
he's the
Hamilton
Godfather.
now the Godfather of Formula One?
I think unquestionably, right?
I think that picture,
Mm.
that iconic picture that everyone knows what we're talking about. That
Well-
iconic picture is actually, yeah, Chris, maybe throw that up. That picture is Godfather-esque.
Well, he went from Hamilton of 2024 being, oh, Bono, retire the car, Bono. I don't want to race anymore. Please, Bono, just park the car. And this is someone who's knighted, by the way.
Not let us forget.
Yeah. To posting up this fucking picture and just becoming the biggest gangster of all time.
It's a pretty cool picture. I'm not a Hamilton fan, but that picture is so many
I'm
aspects
jealous.
of awesome. So Lewis Hamilton, going back to your theory about the 8th, blah blah blah, whatever. Oh, my theory is Ferrari have brought him on board to just make sure he never gets that 8th.
As a way of like protecting Schumacher's legacy.
Protect Schumacher's legacy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's bring him in. Let's finish his career. Let's just make sure whatever happens.
Let's manage the situation.
Manage the situation. Let's not take any risks here
Yeah.
of this old fella taking the 8th. Bring him in, learn from him.
Yeah.
If he gets close, towards the back end of the season, we'll just fuck his car up a little bit.
So it's a big brain idea for
Just
Ferrari if they're doing that.
Control the situation.
Yeah. I think we'll know if he just all of a sudden has lots of mechanical DNFs. Just out of the blue, random shit just occurring. I mean, you wouldn't really question it because that's kind of in Ferrari's nature anyway.
Yeah,
Just
look at
to
the clown
do
mask back on.
Yeah, just do random shit and find random ways to fuck up their own races.
Yeah.
So it does kind of play into that narrative where no one would really question it too much.
No. Like I said, help him get up mid-season. Where are they? All right, yeah, he's in with a shot. Let's just... bummer. Sorry, Lulu. We forgot to put all the fuel in the car. I'm real sorry about that, brother.
Well, no. If that on his first pit stop in Melbourne, if he leaves the pits with 3 wheels instead of 4, well, no.
But they won't do it straight away. They want to keep him happy. They need to learn from him still.
Yeah.
They need that wealth of knowledge that he brings.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right, so I've got Hamilton. My prediction is a P4.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there.
Ahead.
Yeah.
Ahead of Charles Leclerc.
Right, hang on. So what?
For my prediction.
Yeah,
My
okay,
prediction
yeah,
is
yeah.
P4.
Yeah.
And I predict he finishes ahead of Leclerc.
Yeah, right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Question 5. Red Bull. Can Tyrell, do you know who he is?
Tyrell. Is this a motorsport reference?
Just a little bit of F1 history.
Oh, the team.
Yes.
The team.
The team, yeah.
Tyrrell.
Tyrrell.
Oh, brother, you come around here.
I'm from Australia. Can you blame me?
Tyrell. Continue. I thought it was a rapper. I thought you were talking about a rapper or something.
Yeah, Ken Tyrell.
Yeah.
Ken Tyrell once said, when you become a parent, you lose substantial lap time. Is Verstappen going to remain hungry and driven, as Hamilton himself stated? Or will his signature aggressive style lose its edge?
Wow. That was a well-crafted question.
Thank you.
Props.
Once again, this is why I lead the show, because
I mean, you misspoke.
who cares?
Okay, that's why I pulled you up on it. Look, we're a mistake-free podcast unless we make mistakes.
Except for the times when we do.
Yeah.
But every other
Besides
time.
then, we're
mistake-free.
100%.
Yeah.
So which question?
Do you want me to repeat it?
Will the kid slow him down?
Essentially.
Like, historically, yeah. Like, probably most drivers seem to...
And don't forget, he's one of the most ultra-aggressive drivers on the grid that F1 has seen in general, too.
I think it was Alonso who pulled a quote. Was it Alonso? I think it was Alonso who pulled a quote on Schumacher at Suzuka when he passed him around the outside at one of the fast corners. And his quote was, he knew he'd pull out because he's got kids.
Ah, yeah, that's right, yeah. Geez,
So-
you really have a thing for Alonso, don't you? You have a little man crush on
He's one of the top 5 drivers
top 5, what, of
in
all time?
history. Yeah. No, maybe not. Maybe top 10. Top 10.
Top 10 I'm
comfortably.
happy with, but top 5.
We don't need to get into a fight just yet.
Okay.
Top 10.
Yeah, let's keep it friendly.
Yeah. Probably slow him down a little bit, but at the same time, he's also probably lost a bit of his aggressive edge anyway with his success. He doesn't have that aggressiveness to win that first championship because he's already got 4 now.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets the 5th, that puts him in par with Fangio. Fangio, I think, got 5, and then it's only Hamilton and Schumacher above that, right?
Probably.
So, I mean, he's kind of on 4 with a lot of drivers. So it sort of...
Yeah, 5th probably a bit of a differentiator.
Yeah.
But I guess this is the thing with the reg changes. Like Hamilton got to enjoy the turbo hybrid regs for like
a long
7
time.
years.
Yeah.
Like he got to just fill his basket.
Oh,
These regs have been we're going on to year 4 and it's the final year. You know?
Yeah, it's a very quick turnaround for...
Yeah. So like Max, that's the thing. Like the regs could cut him short of that 5th. You know?
I guess the only other thing is he's still very young. He still has a lot of racing in him if he has the desire to be in it, which keeps him. I mean, you almost could say the same for your man Alonso. Very successful driver early on in his career, and then just hit long stretches of dead patches,
bad teams and whatnot. I mean, that's exactly what could happen with Max. You say he's young. How old is he? Do you know? You're just speaking.
I just know he's young.
You're just speaking shit.
Well, I'm around mid-20s somewhere.
We could probably work it out, but we didn't have time for that. I forgot my train of thought. Nah, all it takes is the new regs. Maybe he stays loyal to Red Bull for 3 years, and then he's over the peak, and then he goes, you know what? You guys aren't really it for me anymore. Goes to a Ferrari, like we've seen so many drivers do.
Or an Aston Martin.
They continue. Fernando's on like the 4th cycle of his career.
Yeah.
We're talking about the second move you make.
Yeah.
He goes to a Ferrari who just can't compete, and then all of a sudden he's past his peak and he's driving for another team that's not quite there, and all of a sudden he remains a 4-time world champion. Like, it happens that quick.
It would feel like Red Bull probably missed the trick if they don't win it, or if Max doesn't win it this year. Again, because of the whole regulation changes, and they've sort of dominated these regulations.
Yeah, and like we've spoken on before, like Nui leaving, can they just get one more out of his initial design before the whole thing changes? And it did seem like he was just hanging on by the end of the season, to a point. So it isn't the most I don't know, confidence inducing
form to come into a season with. Yeah. So, and we've both not put him. Well, I mean,
I don't have a say in the number ones over here. I'm not good enough for that.
As a team, we haven't put them in 1 or 2. Yeah. So
cool. So where have you said where you're listing? Well, where's he?
I think he finishes 5th. Yeah, I do. And look, maybe 4th. He could maybe pip Hamilton.
That's incredible.
Clearly, you have him 2nd.
Good. Yeah, I do. I did have him 2nd. That was my concept.
Yeah. Do you reckon he'll still be good enough to finish 2nd? I know he just won the championship.
Driver is a difference maker.
Yeah.
And like you said, they struggled at the end of the season. But again, like we spoke earlier, he had a 60-point margin in Miami, and he finished with a bigger margin at the end of the season.
But he also didn't have a baby on the way. Like, how distracted could he potentially be as a new dad? Yeah. We'll see.
He might not care. Maybe he doesn't like the kid. Yeah. Maybe he's like, hey, you know what? I've got shit to do. I'm a race car driver, fella.
I'll be a daddy later.
Yeah. Right. I got time for that. All right. You good?
We can move on.
You done with your Max?
Yeah.
All right. Liam Lawson.
Yay.
Liam Lawson. All right.
Just real quick. I liked the way he conducted himself last year, before you get into your question. I sort of like the attitude, which is a bit different. I think the sport needs characters like that. I didn't mind that he was being a bit of a dickhead out there.
A faker?
Whatever. Just hear me out.
I'm trying. I'm not liking it so far.
But because we're doing this podcast, I have to have a fucking TikTok account now. So I'm only following F1 content. And
so did that mean you stopped posting on your personal TikTok? You done with that now?
No. I still at least 3-4 times a day.
Okay. Yeah. Or you're dancing and all the rest of it?
Yeah, dancing, singing. Yeah. Anyway, I'm following all these F1 just drivers and teams and whatever. And he posts a lot of shit. Oh, man. I just can't stand the dude anymore. After I've seen his TikToks.
Oh, welcome on board.
Yeah. I'm
Seriously.
I'm just like, yeah.
Okay, I didn't like the way he conducted himself. Like I said, faker.
Yeah.
He rocks up. He does all the things everyone expects him to do, like fob off Perez, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Just drives like a dickhead. And then his dad goes, hey, brother, that's not how we raise you. Settle down. And he goes, oh, yes, my bad. No worries. Sir. Yes, Gets back in line. Like, are you aggressive or not? Like, his dad wouldn't have told him that if through the junior categories, he acted that way. He wouldn't be such a shock.
That's true.
So tell me, he knew what he was out there to do. Be aggressive, all the rest of it, but do better next time.
All right, well, get on with your question.
All right. Can Liam Lawson outperform Yuki Tsunoda in 2025? That
is the question, isn't it?
Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Tsunoda in the Racing Bull.
I actually think Yes. Here's why.
You'd hope so.
I think, and this is just all just my thoughts on it.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
This is an open space. It's safe.
I think Yuki has been very harshly mistreated by Red Bull.
Yeah.
And I think he's just going to kind of do the bare minimum in that seat. And I think
You don't think he's driving for his career, and maybe he should continue to step up?
Look, it depends on how it plays out. If Max is well and truly cemented as a Red Bull guy, and there's going to be an opening at Aston Martin Honda, it seems like Yuki is going to be that guy, right?
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, there's the whole Japanese connection.
Okay.
It's not the most well-kept secret.
Yeah.
Does he feel kind of a bit bitten, a bit betrayed by Red Bull? I'm not going to say he's going to throw away the season, but I think how can you not be a little bit gun shy after all of this? Like, you've come through the whole junior program, you've been in that team for a few years, you outperformed Daniel Ricciardo, you outperformed Liam Lawson, just for them to go, sorry Yuki, we're not picking you. So I think that his loyalties might be looking for another seat. I don't see him maybe outperforming Lawson. But in saying that, it could go the other way. If Max does take a big fuck off paycheck from Lance and comes over to Austin and joins Nui and whatever, maybe he finally gets the call up into the big boy Red Bull, Yuki. So then he does have something to drive for.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question. Why the fuck are you just talking about Tsunoda for so long? This is an awesome question.
Okay, but it's in relation to Yuki,
All
right?
If you want. I think Lawson naturally, no. Oh, it's tough. I was going to say he should, and he will, but if he doesn't, there's we've seen it how many times that they'll just switch them.
Like mid-season switch?
Yeah. And then come end of season, he won't outperform him.
And that's probably the way it will go, right? If Lawson's not scoring points, if he's having too many incidents.
Yeah. I mean, or
Switch 'em.
have Red Bull learnt their lesson and they won't do that. But the fact that they've hired Lawson in the first place shows me that nothing's changed.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned in the last episode, Tsunoda is just another driver in the long list of forgotten Red Bull drivers, junior drivers that he's probably one of the better ones to just potentially lose out. He's probably right there with Sainz as a good junior driver who just missed out on the top team, but he's good enough to stick around in Formula One. So hopefully he does. You can't sit in RB forever.
No.
So hopefully he does get the chance at Aston, and I think he will prove. I think he'll be switched on this year to make the grid aware, or at least prove Red Bull wrong.
Yeah.
I think he'll be wide awake this season. In saying that, yeah, Lawson has to. In the Red Bull, he just has to outperform the RB.
I guess the only reason I question it is because it was last year. If you think about last year, he was racing for a seat in Red Bull. I mean, all season long, it was chit-chat about Sergio doesn't deserve to be in that seat. What are Red Bull doing? Who's going to take that seat? And he just never...
He's never mentioned.
He was never mentioned, and he never really did anything exceptional that it was like, wow, get him into Red Bull now.
He was just a consistent... Yeah.
He was consistent, and yeah, he's in a shitter car. But I think you add that, then you add...
But why give it to Lawson? That is just a dumb... doesn't make sense.
I cannot answer that. That is...
I understood why Yuki was never the talking point mid-season, because it was always Ricciardo. Makes sense. Hey, he'll only be around for a year or two anyway. Finish out the year, give him another year, allow Yuki to just really develop whatever they want to do. That made sense to me. But no, they didn't.
It's an unanswerable question. Why didn't they swap Danny Rick and Sergio mid-season? What happened there?
Yeah, exactly.
Why didn't they give Danny Rick a send-off? Why did they choose Lawson over Yuki?
Yeah.
Very strange
Maybe Dr.
decisions.
Helmet's you should start to wind things up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I've got Lawson at P9, and it pains me to put him that high.
Yeah.
But we're not a total bullshit pod.
Yeah.
We need to be a little bit realistic.
Yeah.
He is in a Red Bull. I've got his teammate coming second.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And let's not forget Perez came 10th last year. And Perez just sucks major. So, ninth is probably realistic, I believe.
Yeah, you probably bang on there.
And that is all I have to say about Liam Lawson.
Let's move it on then.
Absolutely.
Mercedes. So question number, what is this, 8? 7.
7.
This is the first time in 12 years that we see what Mercedes looks like without Hamilton. It's a long stint. Can Russell put his big boy pants on and lead the team to some level of success?
For 2025 specifically, no.
You don't see? You don't see?
No.
Do you see him winning a race? Something bad would have to occur,
Yeah,
right?
no, he'll probably win a race. He'll probably win a race, but that's not really enough. I think McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, minimum win races this year, and not
Naturally.
Antonelli. It's going to be George.
Not the hottest of takes. Bit weak.
No.
Bit piss weak, that one.
You're asking the questions. Do I think George will win a race? I mean, you're asking if he'll put his big boy pants on and do better.
Yeah.
Which I don't believe so. I think this year Mercedes will just survive. Just survive.
Just get to next year.
Work on next year's car. Like,
Yeah.
what really do they have to play for? They've struggled these regs. There's no reason to think they'll turn around with a year to go. Why continue to develop this heap that they've got? They've got a rookie in that car, which is hilarious. Like, a car that was winning constructors and drivers' titles 4 years ago. They're now just putting a rookie in, no worries. Like,
Very young rookie too.
yeah, just develop his teammate. Let George, whatever, fight for wins if he can. Like, yeah. He'll lead the team to 4th in the constructors.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to challenge the top 3 teams, right?
No.
And then, I mean, you look at Aston Martin, Alpine, Williams,
Who?
Haas, Alpine.
Who's
Renault.
that?
Sorry, Renault. Sorry.
I was confused.
Renault.
My paper says Renault.
Yeah. You know, are they going to have enough to really collect enough points to even try and pip Mercedes off?
But again,
knows?
yeah,
We'll see.
we'll get there. But
They do seem
Aston
like
have already
they're-
said they're pretty much riding this year off as well.
So is Alpine. They're using an
Who?
old chassis. Sorry, Renault.
And we'll get there.
Yeah.
But I don't think Mercedes is a threat of moving from 4th.
So, despite that, I still have him finishing 6th.
That's probably whatever.
It's kind of nowhere.
Yeah, it might. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, that's where
I don't know if you'll.
that's where he finished this 2024, isn't it? So
Yeah, yeah. And then again, like, I've got a Red Bull behind him, a Ferrari probably right there in the mix. It's probably going to beat him. 6th is probably about right, hey? 6th to 8th, probably 7th.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, who cares? All right. Andrea Kimi Antonelli of Mercedes.
Tell me about him.
No, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay, I'll tell you about him.
Do you think Antonelli will finish top 8 in this year's championship, where he probably should, as we just discussed?
I don't know where I had him in my rankings.
Well, you shouldn't have had him anyway, because I look after the number 2s.
Yeah, well,
So keep your
like
filthy-
mentally as I was
Right.
working out my number 1s.
So again, don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm now asking you to think about it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the heads up.
Think out loud.
Well, I have. I don't want to.
Yeah, don't step
give
on
any
your toes.
spoilers.
Just-
Um,
Wow,
Look-
it's a yes or no question at heart. Like, come on.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the guy. Like, I don't watch
You're
F2.
not meant to know anything.
I'm thinking out loud.
Alright.
I don't know. I don't watch F2. Could not give two shits.
I don't know who won last year's championship.
He could have,
He could have. He might have.
and if he did, well done.
Good on you.
He's in I guess the thing that's probably a little bit different than usual is how little time the rookies get in cars at the moment. It's very regulated. I think there's just so many tracks that he would not have raced the F1 car at, right? So you're getting your head around a car, you're getting your head around a car on tracks.
Yeah. It's hard being a
You know,
rookie. 100%.
Yeah, I think he almost, I don't know what the go is with his relationship and Mercedes, whether they're happy just to kind of do what Ferrari did with Leclerc and kind of nurture him in a bit and, you know, give him a good solid stint. Let's see what you can do. Like,
That's what I think this year is.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think he's in a car where he can certainly be in the top 8 for sure, as we've just discussed. Whether he has the ability to be finishing in the points consistently enough to ensure a top 8 finish is going to be the question. I think, why not?
All right.
I think, why not? Because he seems to have, from what I'm seeing, quite an aggressive driving style, and that can go one of two ways, right?
Yeah. I do recall him crashing at Monza.
Yeah, but I think...
On a banging lap, so they say.
That is true. Yeah. Was he the crashiest of...
Rookie? No, not even close.
So I think maybe that combined with Mercedes as a team and their experience and history, I think he's probably, out of all the rookies, he's in the best position to succeed. So, why not?
Yeah, it's probably a bit rough for me to say where he probably should finish. That's where the car should finish.
Yeah.
Whether he can steer it there or not. I don't know if he's in the best position of all the rookies to succeed. He's in the best car.
Who do you think's got it in a better position?
He's in the best car, but he does have some pressure on him. Toto overseeing him, all the rest of it.
Does he? Again, I guess that's the question. How are they managing him?
Yeah, so the pressure comes from the fact that it is a Mercedes. He is going to see his teammate probably win a race. Like, he's going to be, like, I don't know for sure.
Let's not forget, like, Hamilton finished 7th. So we had, Russell 6th, Hamilton 7th. So theoretically, if you finish 7th, like, that's where the car can achieve, right?
Yeah, I mean, they should have been 7th and 8th if Perez didn't just take a massive shit all year.
Sure. But then let's not go too deep into it. But then if it's 8th, that's one position removed where that car finished the previous. So, I mean, that does almost seem undoable.
He's probably, like, you'd have to have a really good rookie season. Like, he doesn't have the slack of the car being really good, where he can be, like, mediocre and benefit.
Yeah.
So he does have to, like, 8th is on par with the car. He probably... I mean, I've got him P12, so I don't think so.
You're not even in the top 10.
Not even in the 10. Yeah. I think he'll probably crash a couple of times. A couple of tracks are going to be just completely unbeknownst to him.
Yeah,
they got sims, whatever. I don't know what tracks he did last year in practice, but it's just a completely different ball game rocking up in Australia. In your own Formula 1 car.
Yeah, when you're on that grid,
qualify, you got the best of the best tyres they can produce. All the rest, you got 19 other fellas out there. And, 3 of them are pretty good coming after you. So
I guess that then if he finishes in 12th outside the points, let's say.
No, not. What do you mean? 12th in the championship, yeah.
So this is what you said, yeah?
Yeah, but he'll still get points.
So, I'm sorry.
It's a stupid take.
Sorry. He finishes 12th, which is, he's a number 2 driver. So
I got him behind George.
About probably expected. I guess it will be a question of is it a failure of him or is it a failure of Mercedes? In managing.
Well, I mean, what do they expect of him is the big question. Knowing the sport is so big, just learning.
Sport's so big. There's so much technology. There's
so much money.
Yeah, like you can really, like they're in the best spot they've ever been to prepare.
Yeah,
for Grand Prix. So it's not undoable, and we've seen rookies have various levels of success, including wins and stuff before. So,
and when we saw when Mercedes were dominant, they put George in the Williams to go, but there's no point in putting Antonelli in the Williams now because he can learn in the Mercedes because they're just not competing for anything.
Yeah,
get him ready, have a year under his belt. We've seen the step Oscar took year on year.
Yeah,
and that McLaren was no good the first year. So if Antonelli's worth it as a driver, good learning year, new regs, maybe they're really good. He's got a year under his belt, bang, they're ready to go with two. That's
why I probably have him probably finishing top 8 because I reckon the pressure's off him. I reckon they'll treat this season more as get your head around the car, get your head around the tracks. New regs coming next year. We're kind of getting you a bit more set up for the next generation of Formula 1.
You don't think Toto won't knock his confidence if he has one too many crashes or stupid mistakes?
No, Toto doesn't seem like he's got as much bite as he once used to.
We spoke about him yelling at Lewis for missing qualifying,
but that was the only
fault of not his own.
But that was the only bit of fire we saw really from him in the whole season, and it was literally at the last minute. And I think it was more just about pent up, frustration that just kind of slipped out.
All right. Anyway, yeah. So I got Andrea, Kimi, Antonelli rounding out the season in 12th in the championship.
All right. I'm going to hold you to that.
That's the idea.
Let's move on to...
I take care of my number 2s.
Yeah, good. You so should. Love good number 2.
Hmm.
I always make sure I have one, sorted out before before we come onto the pod. Yeah. Make sure we're loosey-goosey.
Don't have any misfiring.
No. Aston Martin. Stroll.
The Green Machines.
Stroll apparently is listed as the number 1 driver, which, he's dad's team, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he just told F1, hey, when you release the website, it's very important.
Yeah.
You put my boy right there, front and center.
Can Stroll finally end his active streak of the most GP starts without a fastest lap this year?
No.
Let's move on. I agree.
I'm happy to move on.
Yeah.
No, he
No.
he hasn't done it yet.
No.
Like the team, I don't understand why the team don't just, hey man, are you up for the challenge? Like, do you want to just pit on like the second last lap for these like banging tires we got?
How have they not done that before?
Maybe he doesn't have the. Maybe he's like, I don't think I can.
It would almost say more, right? If they strapped on a new pair of softs and went for it, and he still didn't snag it.
Yeah, I think that I really think that's it.
Maybe they're
like,
protecting him
just not
from that
like,
humiliation.
One day we'll be like, you know what, you've got this, brother, and we'll do it. But they just haven't seen that day yet.
The way the coverage is too, there's no hiding. If you saw Stroll come into the pits on the second last lap,
Crofty would be screaming that out like,
straight away.
Here we go. Yeah. This is it. He's going to break. He's going to wipe himself with this record, and then he'll finish like 8/10 behind the fastest lap set on dirty hards that are 30 laps old, 10 laps earlier.
Look, at least he's got some level of accolade to his name.
He's got a record.
It's maybe not the one that all drivers want.
Yeah. I mean, even LeBron, he's got the record of the most field goal misses. Everyone's got to have some negative record on their repertoire.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
you still going? All right.
I have to tell you where he places.
Sorry. My apologies.
Just calm down.
I'm getting excited for this next driver.
Aggression from you tonight. I don't know if I like it.
It's not aggression. It's all right, pal. Calm down.
14th is where I have him. All right.
I do agree.
On 14th.
Yeah. I don't actually have him listed. I just have him behind Fernando. So.
Mentally. Yeah.
Bottom. I mean, 14th. That's pretty like. There's 6 rookies. I mean, they should fill out like the rest.
In a perfect world, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
so he's theoretically dead last of all the experienced drivers.
Yeah. In Aston Martin. All right. Fernando Alonso. So my question for you: what's the legal retirement age in Spain?
Oh,
and
it's one of the lowest.
Is that what Fernando is waiting for?
Yeah, it is one of the lowest, isn't it? Isn't it in the 50s?
No. So it's 67.
Oh,
I did look it up.
It's basically the same.
He's 43, so he's got 24 more years.
He could do it.
He could do it.
The way technology's going, right?
He gets paid well. Lawrence is happy for him to rock up. He might just be waiting 24 more years. Spanish Grand Prix when he's 67, he just goes, yeah, that's it. That's me done. Out of the car, straight to his motorhome in the pension. Easy.
What is he realistically racing for? I mean, I get that you can have a passion for racing and you don't want to let it go.
Is he the motivation for the new movie? Is that the F1, whatever it is?
He's Brad Pitt.
Yeah. I mean, it seems that way.
Yeah,
just an old fella, like, I got nothing better to do with life.
How amazing would it be if he retired and then he came back again?
He'd have to be like an AI version of himself. Like, he would have had to find some new scientific, like...
Look, plenty of drivers have retired and come back.
He has.
Who has retired, come back, then retired, and then come back again?
Michael Jordan.
Well, I'm talking drivers.
Right? Yeah, it's happened in sport before. Stranger things have happened.
So, let me ask you this then.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a team owner, CEO, call it what you will. Owner. What logical reason would you have for keeping him on?
Merchandise sales.
Merch sales? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yep.
I'd buy a Fernando shirt. I mean, Aston Martin's a cool brand as much as like...
Do you own a Fernando shirt?
No. You know how expensive F1 gear is? This pod hasn't taken off quite yet.
Fucking ridiculous.
Just stay put. Ask me in like a year, right? Jeez. And to be fair, that's not the first one I'm buying.
So you're openly an Alonso fan.
I'm an Alonso. Yeah. How can you not be?
You
how can
almost
you be
placed him top 5 20 minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
You'd keep him in a team for merch sales. And you don't own any Alonso merch.
I don't own any Oscar Piastri merch. I don't own any Daniel Ricciardo merch.
It's
I
fair,
don't
it's
own
fair.
any.
It's because you're poor, not
Exactly,
so much
I've-
because, yeah.
I've clarified
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The
Well, this is
pod
why-
is yet to take off, man.
This is why I started it, right? To get you out of the
Get me out of the
slums.
slums.
Yeah.
You're such a gracious.
Get you out of poverty.
All right. P8. P8. I've got him. And maybe that's where he finished 24. Oh, no. Oh, maybe he did. I reckon he might have finished P8.
I don't have him listed, obviously, because he's not a number 2 driver. But
No, because he is a number 2 driver.
yeah, but I'm an yeah.
Yeah.
But I
You
have
don't have him listed
yes.
because he is a number 2 driver, according to F1.
I don't think mentally though I had him in the top 10. If I did, it
They've
would have
got
been like 10.
who knows?
Yeah.
I reckon I reckon a lot of the grid will stay status quo year on year. So I reckon
Yeah.
he'll get P8. Woohoo!
Yay! All right, let's move on to Renault, formerly known as Alpine,
Formerly known as Renault.
formerly known as Renault. Gasly. He's the number 1 driver. Just establish that now.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Alpine are using their 2024 chassis with their focus firmly on 2026.
Probably not the only team to do so.
Probably not. So, why did Gasly remove the only thing he had going for him, his hair?
Did he?
Shaved it.
Wow.
Openly one of the most pretty boys
Doesn't-
on the grid too.
Oh, I could be very wrong about this, but doesn't Jack Doohan have a shaved head?
They did it in like brotherly
Oh, did they both?
solidarity or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to copy me. Maybe they've seen the trailer and they're like,
Maybe.
wow,
Maybe they were like, look, car was looking pretty good at the end of last season.
we just need
We-
a couple of grams.
Yeah. To show that we're taking it seriously, let's shave our heads.
Yeah.
They
Shave
buzz-
everything.
Shave everything, head to toe, shave it
Yeah.
all, and then whoever's run that team now came through and went, boys, we're using the 2024 chassis. This season's a bit of a write-off, and they just went, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, man, we
Yeah.
just shaved our heads. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, he could use a shave on that team. Flavio. He's one hairy motherfucker.
Yeah. How good is it to see him back in the grid?
I love it.
Yeah.
I thought he was banned for life though, so I'm not really sure.
Just goes to show. Like, rules mean nothing.
Maybe he's seen. Yeah.
Look, money buys you anything, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure he's very rich. I mean, it's cool. Like Renault, formerly Alpine, formerly Renault, when he was there
Mm.
as a part of Renault
Yeah.
and Crashgate
Yeah.
and getting banned, he's back with Renault. Like, full
It's-
circle moment.
I don't know. I think it's just, even all the controversial stuff aside, it's always nice to see old characters from an old era of F1.
Golden era.
Call it that
and
if you
a
want.
golden era. Yeah.
Call it that if you want. Still in and amongst, the grid and having,
Yeah.
I'm sure he's looking at ways he can cut corners and,
I don't think he's any official capacity. He's an advisor.
come on.
But-
Come on.
Yeah,
He's
Nicky
in the
Lauda was an
trailers,
advisor.
he's interacting with the team,
Yeah.
he's on track. You can't tell me that's not going to have some sort of effect, or he's not
Yeah.
going to have some sort of influence.
Yeah. All right. What do you got Pierre finishing?
Pierre, I actually have him as 8th.
I disagree. And that's all I have to say.
Okay.
All right. So,
Dylan,
Jack
your boy.
Doohan. The next Aussie.
Yeah.
The next great in line. Behind Oscar, of course. But he's an up-and-comer.
As I said, when he wins one, I will consider. He's an Aussie, so he's above everyone else. I don't have kids, right? So I don't know what it's like to dish out equal love, or at least pretend to. I'm sure you have your favorite.
Move on.
But I only have enough love for one.
Okay.
So
Anyway, enough of that. Is Jack Doohan cut from the same cloth as his legendary father?
well, they're in different.
It doesn't
Different
matter.
sporting
It's
codes.
still... What's that got to... Answer the question. From what you've seen. Or lack thereof.
No,
Or have a punt.
no.
All right.
You want to hear why?
It's going to be some
Or is
stupid...
no sufficient enough?
Up to you. Do you feel like you need to explain yourself?
Do you want to hear my answer?
It's not me who's listening.
Okay.
I'm blocking this part out. Because he's a legend, man.
Well, I'm hosting, so I think that people want to listen to me talk. I like the sound of my own voice. You've openly admitted you love listening to me speak, so I will
you're
elaborate.
just such a wise man.
I don't think so. A couple of reasons. But I think the main one, I don't know if his dad came from money or if he or what sort of level of money. I guess you need some sort of level of money to be in motorsport in general, right? However, I think that he built his name in the MotoGP through sheer talent and skill and driving ability, right? I don't know how much influence money was on that success. I think Jack is the opposite. I think he's clearly come from money. He's clearly been set up by his dad to kind of go through karting, get through all the F categories, work his way into F1. And that's an achievement. You still got to do it, right? You still got to do it. So it's still an achievement, and I won't discredit him of that. However, I think coming through with money behind you is different to coming through with money not behind you.
Yeah.
So therefore, I don't think he's cut from the same cloth as his dad. I mean, the dude had a freaking go-kart track in his backyard. That's every boy's dream.
Yeah.
And like,
I'd agree with that.
you know, you can say that that's kind of setting you up for success. And that's we'll
What
see.
a great dad.
We'll see.
Let's
We'll
not
see whether
forget-
he's still in that car by the end of the season. And
have to
if
put a
he
negative
is, we'll
spin on
see
things,
whether
don't
he has what it takes to become a world champion. But I think let's just compare the two Aussies for a minute. It seems like they've had very different paths into Formula One.
Well,
And
one,
I'm
one
always
escaped
backing-
Alpine before he even started.
Yeah, he's a smart man.
Good move.
I think one has maybe earned the right to be there more than the other. And that's just an opinion.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to my question because I don't follow the Formula lower categories.
No.
He did, of course,
But
start
your
one.
question was about him and his dad, right?
Yeah, cut from the same cloth as legendary father, as in what made, and I'm not a moto like GP supporter, so I know he's a legend in that league, but
Sure.
whatever. But what makes you a legend? What drives you in the commitment and natural skill and whatnot? Like, does he have that within? And you can say, daddy's boy, they had it. Max Verstappen his dad was in Formula 1. I'm sure he was very well off as a kid, had all the profits of that.
Do you want to go through all the drivers whose dads were in Formula One? And see whether they were all world champions?
No, but I'm talking about a current, just whatever. We'll see, but I think Jack Doohan has the potential. Every Aussie has been some level of successful because as an Aussie, you are going to struggle to get anywhere in international motorsport.
I don't think I necessarily think that he won't have some sort of success. I think that's certainly possible, and I do agree with that take. Do I think he can be world champion or a multiple world champion like his dad? At this stage, it's too early to say.
It's too
But
early
I
to
don't.
tell,
I don't.
Okay,
My
so that's your
instinct is no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
And like-
I had to take a punt, it's
Oh.
hard because we've seen the history is not kind to Australians. Mark Webber fell short. He only got 10 Grand Prix wins in his career. Danny fell short. Never really had the car underneath him. Whatever. Oscar's future world champion.
He's prime.
Oscar
He's in the best
Piastri,
spot
of
right now
course.
that an Aussie has ever been
Yeah.
in.
So he's got to even though McLaren struggled his first year, just bang straight into such a great team.
Look, he's in a sort of an odd position, right? Because he's in a car that they're not really putting too much focus on.
The Renault.
Yeah. They're about to change regulations next year, and he's got a driver itching to get into a seat. So
The 5
he's
race
in-
contract's not beneficial to him.
no, so he's in a tough spot of okay, I got to make something from nothing, and it will be interesting to see whether he can. I would love, don't get me wrong, I would love to be sitting here in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it might be, and him still be in F1 in some capacity as a driver, whether it's with Alpine or someone else.
Yeah.
And getting race wins. I'm all for that.
100%.
Do I feel confident that's going to be the case as it is right now? No.
Okay, so I think he'll have a good rookie season in a car that struggles. I think he'll drive like his seat's on the line.
Yep.
Which it clearly very much is. I think he'll stay for the season and beyond, but whatever. I've got him placed P10.
Is that above Gasly?
No. So I've got him P10. I've got
Yeah.
Pierre, whatever, ahead of him.
Okay.
Somewhere 9th, 8th, 7th. Who cares? I've got him P10 though.
Yeah.
I reckon he'll come in and just show that true Aussie determination
Look,
in a car that got better last year.
I hope it happens.
It's good to see you supporting him.
I hope he's still in the car mid-season, and I hope he's still in the car next season. I hope he has a genuine good crack for next year with the new regs. So we'll see.
Right.
All right. So, ex-Alpine driver Ocon moving into Haas now.
Cool.
Ocon's in a Haas now.
That's
In other news, his engineer, Laura Mueller, is Formula One's first girly pop engineer. How did F1 go 75 years without that ever occurring before now? And let me say, well done to Laura, and well done to the F1.
Yeah, of course. So what do you have in placing for this season?
13th, which is actually kind of has had some form last year. They like a little back end season form. They've got the whole Toyota thing going on now. I think they look like they probably could snag some points, some consistent points, and he's probably the driver to do it. So
yeah,
13th.
Maybe Haas have unlocked the secret with their new engineer.
Maybe
it's what they need.
That might be just the thing
just
that they need
to unlock.
Just a real
change of scenery and yeah, good for him. Good for what's his name? Ocon.
Yes.
He escaped Renault.
Yeah.
Cool. Ollie Behrman, his teammate. Can he compete against the mighty Esteban Ocon?
Yeah, I see it. I mean, they're both like, well, at least Behrman has some experience in that house, right? He raced, how many races did he do with
yeah,
Haas?
he had a couple. Yeah, I don't know, a couple. Yeah, because he also had a Ferrari last year, so he had a couple of
so whilst
races last season.
Ocon has more experience in F1 overall.
That's something of a point.
Yeah,
slither of a point.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he can just keep it out of the goddamn barriers.
I don't think he's crashy.
We'll see.
Well, he wasn't crashy last year. He done pretty well. Super sub Ollie Behrman.
Yeah, that's right. We covered that last.
Isn't Ollie
last
such a child's name?
It is a child's
name. How can he be an adult and be called Ollie
instead of Oliver?
Yeah, like just rock Oliver, I reckon. As a race,
at what point does he make that switch, right?
From Mike to Michael. Maybe maybe he'll do good things, and it's like we got to stop calling him Ollie.
Yeah. Oliver Behrman.
It's more professional.
Sounds very posh, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's what he needs.
Oh, he's young.
Can he compete? My own question. Can he compete against Ocon? I don't know. I've got him as P19 in the championship.
Wow, that's low.
Yeah, but what do you have?
Low. That is low, considering how many rookies. Again, was it like a third or a quarter of the grid is rookies?
Don't impress me much. I saw world breaking news.
Much.
Yeah. Yep. Fantastic. The world breaking news they released about Haas. Did you see it? It's groundbreaking, earth shattering, monumental. They doubled the size of their trackside computer.
Oh yeah, they went back to the normal size,
the 6-seater instead of the 3.
Yeah. See, another
amazing. They've just moved back in line with the rest of the grid.
Yeah, I mean that's just because old Genie boy doesn't have to put out his own money anymore.
Yeah,
he's got that Toyota money.
Yeah, everyone said it was Gunther's great idea. We can save money with this smaller box.
Yeah.
As soon as Gunther's gone and Toyota start paying the bills, hey, can we get that? Can we dust the 6-seater back off?
It was probably that Laura Mueller. She was probably like, guys, why are we running off half race control? Like,
see, Red Bull, they got 12 people.
Not a good idea.
They got 12 people on the grid. Why are we rocking 3?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's all the employees we have, but yeah, P19.
Low. Well, okay.
Someone had to go there.
Yep. Someone has to come 19.
Someone has to come there.
Why not him?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to racing balls then. Question number 15. Oh, my 17?
I don't know.
I've lost
You've
count.
lost it. Stop saying it out loud.
I've got it in 10 here.
I know, so do I.
Yeah. Racing balls have a new guy.
Who's that?
Isaac Hadjar.
Never heard of him.
Neither have I. So my question then is, will he be another victim of the Red Bull Junior program? History hasn't been kind to them.
He's probably got to be naturally. If you gotta think, as we spoke earlier, if something goes wrong with what's his name, Lawson, that seat has to be Tsunoda's. And then if Max retires for what ungodly reason anytime soon, I doubt they're just gonna bring Hadjar in that quickly and hastily.
No,
Not
no
to
way
mention,
that happens.
not to mention what like
Not unless
I
this
don't think
kid
Max is
turn, not unless he turns out to be super driver,
So I think naturally,
the next Vettel.
yeah. Well, you never know. Apparently, he might be hot shit. I just don't know.
Actually, I did see something about calling him Le Petit Prost or something along those lines, and I was like,
That's
wow,
stupid.
that's a big.
Is he
that's a
French?
big- yeah,
Doesn't sound-
I think
Is he
he's no.
French?
Is he French?
What's his name again?
Hadjar.
Isaac.
Yeah,
Isaac.
I think it was him that they called. There's too many rookies to keep track of this season.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Pretty big. Some might say Prost is the GOAT. So
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
way to put some pressure on the kid.
yeah.
Kind of like, isn't it funny? Last year we had the next
mean-
Senna. This year we got the next Prost. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
So F1 put Hadjar as the number one driver. It's a confidence booster. Not
True.
only Tsunoda misses out on the Red Bull seat, he gets it debunked in his own team that he spent
Again,
5 years there.
Kind of playing to my thing of like, just kind of forget about him this season.
The whole Formula One's just like,
Yeah. Wait until next year when he's in a Aston Martin.
your time's up. Your time's up, little fella.
I mean, I know we're talking about Hadjar, but what do we have to talk about, right? Real quick on that point. Verstappen's contracted until like 20 and 28, I think. So he's still got a couple of years. And yeah, contracts mean nothing. They can all be broken. But that means that if Aston Martin really wanted Verstappen, they could get Yuki in, give him 2 years, see what he can make of it. And then if Verstappen is sniffing around, just make the old switcheroo. So anyway, I have him placing as replaced.
Oh, you got me. I was confused. Replaced. By who?
The next Red Bull Junior in line.
All right. Bold. I like it. I don't reckon it pays off for you.
Probably not.
All right. So it's a 21 driver championship. I've got to rejig my numbers.
Yeah.
I've got to put Bortoletto to the very back.
Yeah, we've got to count for an unknown, a bonus player.
Yeah. All right. So Tsunoda, naturally, the number 2 of the RB.
Sure.
Number 4 in Red Bull's world.
The way they treat him. Sure.
Yeah, unbelievable. Disrespectful.
Yeah.
He deserves more. He should go somewhere he's really
Liked,
yeah,
acknowledged,
yeah. Respected.
respected.
Okay. So, my question to you regarding Yuki Tsunoda.
Far away.
How far into the season does he get before he earns his month off?
His month off.
For swearing.
Oh, yeah.
In the
'cause
FIA,
how many strikes is it? 3?
I think it's 3. 200k fine plus a month off for good measure.
See, I think Verstappen's beaten him to it. Actually, that's something I didn't even factor in, and that kind of plays into Verstappen coming 5th.
You'll probably find they'll probably just like hush money Verstappen's swear words.
Yeah.
They'll be like that. Just, you said puck. You said puck, didn't you? All right. No, it was a miss. FIA reviewed it. Not a swear word.
Yeah. It's probably number 2 on the list, isn't it? What do Red Bull teach their drivers over there?
Like, credit to him, he's calmed down.
He has.
He's calmed down over the years,
He's
but
maturing.
he let the R word slip that one time, which is probably a swear word, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That might even count as 3. That's one strike and you're out. I'm not sure. I reckon he's the first one on the list. I reckon he's the first one. And it's Tsunoda or RB. Like, I don't think they're going to be too shy
Yeah.
about, oh, sorry, mate. Just to really...
So isn't that funny how your take on that plays into my take of Yuki not taking this year seriously?
Yeah. But I think also, why do people swear generally, especially Formula 1 drivers? It's frustration.
Yeah.
He's going to be frustrated from the outset. Something goes wrong.
He's a very frustrated driver.
He drops the word he shouldn't drop.
Yeah.
And the Saint Ben Muhammad of the FIA decides, I'm offended.
See, I
You
think
can't do that around here.
I think there is a very high chance he does get a month off, but I think Verstappen beats him to it. because he's got a newborn. Month paid leave. I'll take that.
Paid? Maybe, I don't know. $200,000 fine. So,
Yeah, which is peanuts for a guy who's making 55 million or whatever it is.
like I said, I don't think the FIA will let him. He can sit there and just pound swear words at him, and they'll be like, "No, that's not swear word.
If we're
Scratch
talking
that from the record. Get the CIA black marker and just redact that
Redacted.
from the."
Yeah. Well, they've taken away the radios. That I thought that has been
again. There you go.
unless they change their mind before Melbourne, they have removed the radios from.
The radios were always
broadcast.
delayed anyway. They were
It's
always-
so stupid.
It gets picked up, it goes off somewhere, gets checked. Yeah, cool. Send that out.
It's
So if they're letting swear words at that point,
they're
like-
trying their hardest to turn people away.
it just
And
makes
again, we
it makes me so bad.
yeah, we should move on from this because it it could get we could start dropping some swear words.
The thing that bugs me the most, how many swear words are in Drive to Survive, which is a Formula One endorsed product? We'll see this year.
a very dramatized
Yeah, it's just terrible.
Formula
But
One.
we'll see this year if it
product.
does change. But every other year, it's like forced. It's terrible. It's just
Yeah.
terrible. Like just terrible.
Yeah.
They can endorse that, push that out there. Formula One film, whatever, full of swear words.
Yeah.
But then you have the real life thing, and it's like whoa, whoa, whoa! You can't come around here saying those things. Ridiculous.
So where do you have him finishing then, with his month vacation?
With this month vacation considered,
Mm-hmm.
P11 ahead
it-
of Hajar.
I guess it depends on when that month takes place, right? Because there's triple headers.
It's a calendar month, I suppose. So
Yeah.
it could be he could just plan it. Hey, we got my third swear word coming up. We
Yeah.
got the winter break coming up.
Yeah.
Guess what, fucker? And then bang, gets his month off. Doesn't have to
Yeah.
lose any. He just cost him $200,000, which hey,
Coming into the
Might be his
the
wage.
winter break. The FIA can suck a bag of dicks. That's it. Have a month off. I was planning to.
sounds good to me.
All right.
You've got this. I reckon this is question 17.
Is it?
I reckon it might be. We're getting to the end.
The math checks out.
Yeah.
As we know, math isn't your strong point.
No, I
Yeah.
quickly Googled it.
Did you check with Chat GPT? Williams. So, question number.
17.
It's clear that Albon can't cope with pressure. I think it's very clear. It's not a question, it's a statement.
That was correct. It is a statement.
So, the question is, how many races can he get through before putting that Williams into the wall? And let's not forget, he was one of the most crashiest drivers of last year.
How many races
Can he get through? Yep.
None. I reckon he crashes in Melbourne.
You reckon right off the rip in Melbourne?
Melbourne is a tricky track.
It's a bit of a technical track,
Grass
isn't
is
it?
pretty close to the edge of the circuit there. Like, was it last year, the year before? It was like 5 red flags. Like, that track is a crashy track.
That actually might have been the most
Yeah.
crashiest
It's
outside of
pretty-
outside of the shit show that was Brazil.
But that was wet. Like, Australia turns it on
Yeah,
just on a standard day. Like,
know.
it's pretty
I was there.
nuts.
I was there.
We've got better things to talk about.
Okay, so
Yeah,
just run flex
no,
on.
I wouldn't be surprised if he crashes in. But they're the quickest year-on-year differential. So you never know, that car he could come out and put it, but he won't.
You want to put $10 on it?
God no, God no,
All right.
no,
Wait,
absolutely not.
because you don't have $10 to spare.
That's potentially half the reason.
So then, in terms of pressure, do you think he has more pressure with Sainz in the team or less pressure with Sainz in the team?
Well, he's not babysitting anymore.
I mean, he's still regarded as the number one driver, but something feels like it's Sainz's team for some reason. It feels like they're looking towards Sainz
I'm sure he's
to
stoked.
save
Like,
them.
hey, I got my own team. It took me 5 attempts.
Yeah,
It's Williams.
yeah.
What did I do so wrong?
Who's going to chase
He's
me out of
really-
this team?
Yeah,
At least
no
the
one's
seat's
going to come
probably
get me.
safe.
No, he must have really pissed off the F1 gods or something.
You watch. Williams
Ricardo
will
surprise return.
have Williams will have an all-time season, and they'll get
thank
like
Sainz as
5th.
well. Yeah.
And then, they'll thank Signs, new regs, someone
Yeah.
else comes through. Hey, Williams is good now.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Is there any pressure driving for Williams? Like, he might not succumb.
Pressure to keep your seat.
Maybe. I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, where have you got him listed?
I reckon he finishes 12th.
Okay. So you've got him substantially ahead of where I've got Carlos. But, yeah. 12.
No,
really?
because I
That's
think
crazy. That's
from
quite
memory,
nice.
because Sainz is the number 2 driver.
Stop looking,
I
man.
think I had him as 10th.
Who?
Sainz.
Sainz?
In a Williams. Yeah.
In the Willie.
I did. Yeah.
You're crazy.
Hey,
Hey, you're entitled to your take, so I apologize.
I
But
don't
you're
like to play
fucking wrong.
things safe all the time.
You're wrong.
I like to take risks.
Safe?
Live
That
life
is
on the edge.
extreme.
Well, Williams in 10th. In a season full of rookies,
Yes.
someone who has
Yes, because I've got
a
here.
lot of experience. Let's
I've
not
got-
forget
Hang on.
how
I've got,
tight the battle is between McLaren, Ferrari, and potentially Red Bull. If they have multiple clashes that take them out of the points or DNF, which can happen when you're fighting hard for a championship, that leaves open points positions. Sainz could be the man to collect.
Yeah. So I've still got here that Sainz is driving Williams, though.
Sure,
So that's like problem number one.
that is a problem.
Right.
That is a problem.
I disagree with you. 12th, 10th, 15th.
It's fine. You're allowed to.
It's
Jeez, don't look so perplexed.
ridiculous. 10th. You've got to put him 10th. I mean, at least
He-
you somewhat come to some senses.
He just came from what I would say his best season.
Absolutely. You don't think he's going to be
He's
a little
got-
bit upset?
I have no doubt he's upset, but I think he's very poised. He's got a lot of experience. I think he can probably help develop that car and get it more suited to his driving style. He's just come from Ferrari, so he's got a wealth of knowledge of how they run shit over there.
Which is that a good thing?
Well, last year it was,
Okay.
for the most part. You know,
Alright.
I think he can be the man to turn Williams around, and I'm that's why I've got him in 10th.
Hey, he's better than Sargent.
That's true. It's a very low bar.
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
All right. Carlos Sainz, or Williams, as discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Will Williams make Carlos cry?
So
Let me stop you right there.
Yeah, mate. Just a quick top 5 side quest. Copy.
Okay.
Top 5 crying.
Are you asking me the
Top 5 cringe crying moments.
All right. Hit me.
Number 5.
Yep.
Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. We've all seen the memes. We've all seen the photos. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a good one. I already know what your number one's going to be.
Oh, I don't reckon. I really don't reckon.
All right.
Number 4. Steve Smith sandpaper gate.
Oh yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it?
That is awful. That makes me
Oh,
sick to
sorry,
this day.
sorry, Steve Smith. Just getting a little drive-by.
Yeah, yeah. So this one's like not so much
Oh,
cringe.
yeah, that one does make you feel
Oh,
sick to
it's
think about, doesn't it?
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my number 3 spontaneously
Yeah.
to Warren crying over sandpaper gate. Warner.
Yeah.
That was just as bad.
Because it seems so phony.
It's just awful.
yeah.
Right. Number 2, Joel Embiid crying after losing to the Raptors in 2019. This big oaf, 7'4", just walking down the hallway back to the locker
I
room.
like it. Yeah.
Number 1, George Russell, about 3 times too many.
That's a good one. Okay. I thought for sure you're going the MJ meme.
No, we don't need to be disrespectful on this podcast.
Yeah. But it is a famous meme, is it not?
It is. And I didn't think about it.
Bravo.
You got me.
Bravo.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've earned the right to come back next week.
I appreciate
I'll redact the job listing that I currently have.
Do you want to know what I spontaneously interchanged? I didn't feel good about this one
What lost?
because I feel like it didn't deserve to be in the cringe list,
Sure.
but I feel like it was like iconic.
The MJ meme.
No, Matthew McConaughey at Interstellar.
Nah, see,
That's not-
wash your filthy mouth.
That's what
out,
I'm
boy.
saying. It ain't cringe, but like
It's not cringe.
it's iconic.
That one hits you in the feels.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I was like, I didn't feel good about it.
I think I'm tearing up right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. It's invoking passion, right? But I didn't feel good about it having it in the cringe list. So
Yeah,
I
it's
had
not
to
a cringe one.
change it out spontaneously. And Warner's pretty fucking awful during that crying interview.
All right. Can we move on, or do you still have to tell me where he places?
But I asked you a question.
What was the question again?
Will Williams make Carlos cry?
No, because I think he finishes 10th. So I think he isn't in for a painful season.
You think he finished 10th? What an absolute fucking joke. All right. Well, I don't think Carlos is a crier, but Williams have a history of making drivers cry.
Yeah, true.
For good or for bad. I mean, George Russell scored a single point and he couldn't just help himself with the ball out.
Yeah.
He just couldn't help himself. He was
Yeah.
so happy. Oh my God, I've scored a point.
Should we
Pathetic.
throw that image up one more time?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
Why not? Throw it up there, buddy.
Throw it up there.
So I got Sainz P16 ahead of our one.
Wow, P16. I think, wow.
It's the Williams. Like, come on.
I think you're
man.
lowballing the dude.
Hey, they're in.
Yeah.
I've inputted them.
Just so everyone's aware.
Chris has got the list to keep these ransom.
Well, just so you're
later
aware,
in the
that
season, he can. Who was right? Who was wrong? Who's most right? Who's most wrong?
job listings back open.
Yeah. You think anyone else is coming in here and putting Williams higher than 16th?
I hope so.
Didn't know you're such a fanboy. Tell you that much.
Um,
If only Jack Doohan
Look,
picked up the Williams seat, you
we've
might have
discussed
some
this.
respect for him.
we want to see Williams back to some
We
form
do.
of glory.
Which is
I think it would be an almighty shame if they rebranded and they left the field.
if they have
Even though
another
there's not-
season like the last bloody 10,
Mm.
I want to see them rebrand.
And I think
Don't get me wrong.
their
If
best chance of saviour is
it's Carlos
Carlos.
Sainz. Oh yeah,
It has
100%.
been
But it's
for
not going to be
10
this
years.
year. It ain't going to be this year. Why would they?
We'll see.
If they said, oh, if there was like, oh, we're either going to be really good or we're going to be shit again and change the name, I'm going to pick them to be good.
Mm.
But it just ain't going to happen. So P16.
All right. Can we move on?
Happy.
Last team. Last
Question
two questions.
19.
Number 19.
Unbelievable.
Sauber. Does Sauber regret hiring Hulkenberg and attempted to blind him before the season started so they could change drivers?
Did I miss some news?
Yeah, apparently he was in the pits and something happened and he got something in his eye and he couldn't race and yeah, it was like
So
a freak
Who
accident.
replaced him in the seat, the testing?
No, he was like they were patching them up and yeah,
Sent him again.
but they
Failed
know.
attempt by the sounds of it.
they attempted to blind him.
Yeah, I don't know why they hired Hulkenberg.
I don't know why.
Seat
let me
filler
just-
to bridge the gap to Audi comes. I don't know.
But even that is so. Let me just remind you of his history, okay?
You got history on that page.
I've got history on this page.
Wow.
This man, actually the one thing I didn't check is how many seasons he's been in F1.
A lot.
I think 13.
Sounds
It was around the same as Danny Rick. So let's just say 13.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. In that time, this man has.
Isn't it a travesty that he's still in Formula 1 and
Can you
Daniel Ricciardo
please
isn't?
shut the fuck up for a second, all right?
Is it not a travesty?
What?
So
Go
you
ahead.
weren't listening.
No, I wasn't.
That he's still in the sport and Daniel Ricciardo isn't.
It is, and we've already we
I
established
just
that
need
last episode.
I just need the people to understand what a joke this is.
Just want to remind everyone the job listing is live for a co-host on Box Banner. Okay. Hulkenberg. 0 wins. 0 podiums. 1 pole position.
Wow.
2 fastest laps.
You know who's got no fastest laps?
I do.
Exactly.
In
So-
that time, he has raced for Williams, Force India, Sauber, Force India again, Renault, Racing Point,
Which is Force India.
Aston Martin,
Which is Force India.
Haas, Sauber again, and it sounds like Audi next year.
Audi.
Audi.
I'm actually super impressed by that list.
You can't knock the dude and how he's stayed in the sport for
He's
so long.
doing what
He's
Daniel
chameleon.
Ricciardo just didn't want to do.
He's doing the dirty
Race
work.
for the backmarkers and just be a pleb.
Like, surely there is a better option than Hulkenberg. And like, the guy is nice. He's nice.
I guess.
He's not an idiot. Like, I don't hate him. I just don't feel anything for him. But how?
Yeah.
How is he there? And what is Sauber thinking?
You got to pay someone. Maybe he's not crashing. Is he crashing?
I don't know.
I don't feel like he's crashing.
I
I feel
don't
like
watch-
I don't even.
I don't watch his races.
No, I feel like I don't even know he's in the sport. You could have
don't.
fooled me. If you said he retired 3 years ago, I'd be like, no.
It kind of goes into the thing we were saying in last episode where, that's a pretty shit hot looking car.
Yeah, see, you said that.
Okay, it's a shit hot looking car for no airtime, and now they're just ensuring they have a driver equally who gets no airtime to fill that seat to remain off air.
So where's he placing this year?
I actually had him as 18th, so He'll probably still finish ahead of 2 drivers. probably his teammate Bortoletto, and I don't
So
know,
who,
one
out
of
of
them.
curiosity, who did you have 20th?
I don't know. I didn't think that far because,
You didn't
I
have to.
don't care.
Understand. That's fine. Okay.
but probably his teammate. Like surely a dude with 13 seasons of experience can finish ahead of a rookie.
All right. So I got a question for you. What is Bortoletto's first name?
You son of a bitch.
Gabriel.
Gabriel, that's right. Yeah.
Will we be talking about Bortoletto still come at the season's end?
I don't know. Is that clearly Sauber aren't looking for form here. They're looking to next year.
You're right. You got me there.
So is he contracted for next year? Is he got some Audi?
I'm just wondering
link?
what's a Gabriel at this point.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, the redundancy is is alive and well there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they're just
No,
hanging on
you
for
do.
next
I
year.
didn't think of that. I didn't think of the fact that Sauber is so shit. They actually don't care.
I mean, maybe they're just like, we made it to F1. We're
They've been in it
Where-
for a very long time.
we're on a car. We're in one of the biggest sports in the world. People know our brand. That's enough for them. They don't really give a fuck about anything else that's going on within that team, drivers. Maybe at some point they'll have someone who comes in and runs that company and goes, guys, why don't we actually try and do something? Which is maybe what they're doing with for the Audi thing.
Why don't we just try and compete?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Like right now, we have nothing to lose. There's 10 teams. We're coming 10th. Let's see if we
And they
can
offloaded a $10 million sack of
go up a step.
of Finn.
Yeah.
I don't know how much Hulkenberg's getting paid. Do you have that on hand?
5.5 million euros. So convert that.
So
It's a
they're
lot of
saving-
money.
Yeah, but they were paying
They are.
Bottas 10 mil.
They are saving money.
And I'm
from
sure Joe was probably on more than Gabe's going to be.
that's true.
So,
Yeah.
Hey, what a win.
Yeah, I guess that is they've made it right. They've done something right there, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give them that. Well done, Sauber.
Offload. Maybe the Formula 1 has a secret minimum payment for the drivers.
It probably
Similar to like
does.
the NBA, you have to at least pay like
probably
this much
does.
money. Like, come on, you can't get
Yeah.
some go-kart stars in here. Like, you got to pay some money.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like Gabe gets $500,000 and Nico gets 4.5, and there's a $5 million budget.
It probably does, and I feel like the mark is like 500,000, and that's probably what he's getting paid. So anyway, that's enough of Sauber.
Whoa!
Okay, sorry, that's not enough of Sauber,
I've got him place P20. Assuming
which is probably where I had him to.
assuming there's only going to be a 20 driver championship.
Yeah,
Do not hold me to it.
if a surprise driver entry comes through,
Yeah.
does he move down to 21?
He does it. If
Okay,
Carlos
second.
spontaneously needs surgery to take out like his kidney or something,
Yeah.
and then like someone comes into the Williams like Nick DeVries and just dominates and gets
Yeah.
a point, Bortoletto goes to 21.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's the 2025 season. 20 questions, 20 drivers, 1 cup.
Who gets the cup? OP.
It's got to be OP.
Yeah.
How can we not back OP?
Mm-hmm,
He's our boy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been more pumped for a season. Probably not since that Ricardo Red Bull season. That was probably the last time I felt this much hope. Hope.
No, very good.
Sounds good.
What an in-depth analysis we've just done.
Good job. I'm
Yeah.
proud of us.
Go team.
Look at us go.